What's poppin', y'all? We finally got the confrontation that people have been waiting for between Cenat and Mr. Beast. People weren't sure whether it was ever going to happen or if Cenat was just going to move on from the Team Water project that he didn't donate to. If you guys remember, Cenat teamed up with XQC and Adin Ross to do Team Water, which was a live stream where they raised over $12 million. They broke a world record for the most amount of money raised, donations in a single stream. And part of that was some people calling out Cenat. So really this started with Mr. Beast, but the fact that Adin Ross was a part of it got a little funky. So Mr. Beast started it off by saying, I remember at XQC and Cenat, you guys talking about who's richer on stream and going band for band. Let's settle it. Whoever donates the most to Team Water is officially the richest. And this was in August, the beginning of August. This was August 1st that was tweeted. And to give you guys a little bit of a preface, Cenat and Adin Ross were, I wouldn't say they were on the rocks, but they were in the process of repairing their relationship when this was going on. Mr. Beast, Adin Ross had nothing to do with this, and Cenat and Mr. Beast, or Cenat and XQC, have had their own static between years. They were cool at one point several years ago, but he felt like XQC would be taking shots at him, and Cenat is somebody, from what I've been able to gather, that is, it's either you're his friend and you abide by those things that you would abide by for a friend, or you are not his friend. There's not this like middle ground where you're criticizing him on a public platform where people may look at him negatively and then you're like cool with him behind the scenes and you're just saying like, oh, no, I was just saying my opinion out loud. He does not rock with that. And I respect that because I'm not somebody that rocks. I understand people are like that, but those people can stay over there. So part of that was money. And then Cenat talks about we could go band for band. And then he did have to get humbled because XQC does have a lot more bread than Cenat. Cenat has a history with Mr. Beast. He, of course, was a fan of Mr. Beast, and I believe he was inspired by Mr. Beast. I consistently call Cenat the Mr. Beast of streaming, Mr. Beast of Twitch, whereas Mr. Beast is production values, craziness, taking things to the next level on video on demand, so on the YouTube platform. Cenat is that for streaming, which is very difficult. But these guys had their own collaboration for a previous Mafia-thon, and I'm going to play you guys a clip right now when they were collabing together.
Thanks to Mr. Beast's credit card, we want to help make more dreams come true, so we're throwing our card in the mix!
Whoa. Wait, how much?
Oh my gosh!
That's cool. How much is on it? Oh wait, that's actually pretty cool artwork. Oh, fuck.
I'm about to run this up, Jimmy!
Wait, can we show that?
We hit a lick! We hit a lick, yes, we can show it.
Okay.
We hit a lick!
How much is on it, though?
So for this collaboration, this was a huge deal for Cenat at this point in time. He wasn't as big as he is right now. He was still one of the biggest streamers, but streaming had not yet really just exploded. It was in the process of doing so. And really, Cenat and Speed really took it to that next level. Of course, you can't get into this conversation without mentioning Adin Ross. But Mr. Beast, he gave Cenat a ton of money to donate and to spend on people in the Bronx. And of course, like there were sponsors involved in this, like T-Mobile, from the clip that I showed you. So these guys had already collaborated. They were chill. They were cool, at least in terms of like a working relationship. But with the Team Water thing, Adin Ross would then call out Cenat and he would say, oh, I donate this much if Kai donates this much. And then Kai didn't donate. And I even said this where I was like, yo, Adin was still repairing his relationship with Kai. I don't think that was a situation where it's like it can be used in a joking manner because there are all of these clip pages, which is, it's the new National Enquirer, and the new celebrities are the streamers and the content creators. So National Enquirer tabloids, these pages that are incentivized to get a ton of views, some of them have it out for a Cenat or whatever streamer. They're all people running this, so they have their own biases and people that they like and don't like. So a lot of people started saying, yo, Kai hasn't donated. And he ended up not donating at all. He wouldn't allow himself to get pressured into it. So when he talks about the Mr. Beast Team Water situation, this is the first time he had spoken on it since then. And I'm going to play you guys the first clip right now.
I can't fake it, man. Jimmy cool. That motherfucker that was pulled last month was a little fishy. And, hey, listen, no hard feelings though. That was a little. I'm just being real. But shout out to Jimmy, man.
So even then, in this clip, these tabloids started to spread it as if Kai Cenat thought that Team Water itself, the charity, was fishy, which is not the case at all. It is easy to misinterpret it like that, especially if it's chopped up in that way. But what he was saying was fishy was how Jimmy, Mr. Beast, was behaving about it. Like, he's like, yo, the fact that he's like mentioning me and then mentioned me a second time, and then he's with Adin and he wouldn't do this unless I did this and I'm getting dragged into this. Like, I don't really mess with that. And I got to make it clear too, like, some people will say like, yo, Mr. Beast is a little bit aggressive in getting donations, but that's kind of what you got to do. Pressure people a little bit to, especially rich people, or they're not pressuring broke people, to donate to this cause that serves Mr. Beast. And I said, Kai Cenat, why would he do that and just because keep in mind, Team Water, it's Mr. Beast. Now, those three, they broke the world record, XQC, Adin, and Mr. Beast. But Mr. Beast, his foundation is Team Water. So all the credit, quote unquote, goes to him. Whereas Kai Cenat, maybe he wants to do his own initiative like he's doing with the Nigeria thing right now for Mafiathon 3. However, the reason why Kai Cenat says that this, like, it was a little fishy is because that's what resurfaced this narrative that Kai Cenat was quote-unquote scamming with the school in Nigeria. And this goes back to Makoko, Nigeria, when Kai Cenat went over there to do a live stream. Makoko is this popular like slum where there's just water. It's on top of water. It's very difficult. And this page, KickChamp, along with a couple of other pages, they were trying to resurface that, yo, the school's not built. There's no progress on the school. They were trying to do it like in the Dr. Umar thing. And it wasn't catching until he didn't donate to Mr. Beast's Team Water. So he starts facing heat. That starts going viral. It starts spreading everywhere. People are calling Kai Cenat a scammer. So much so that Kai Cenat had to come, show everybody the updates, and tell them that 15% of Mafiathon 3 was going to go to Nigeria. He brought in someone, I believe a woman from South Africa that works with these organizations to build a school. And I'm willing to bet that if this didn't happen, this negative press that he got for not donating to Team Water, not just not donating to Team Water, but them using him not donating to Team Water as a way to slander him, it's really slander, for the Nigeria situation, I don't think he would have devoted 15% to Nigeria. He may have done it for a different charity or a different cause, but he was forced to address that. So he gets on the phone with Mr. Beast, and I'm going to play you guys that clip right now.
First up, I wanted to just say congrats on cracking 1 million.
Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, and keep talking about what you were saying on stream. I could tell that there was the whole Team Water thing.
You
people were running with that, and I actually, so I'm not even joking. I don't know if you got I don't know why I have two Kai Cenat saved, but I called you and texted you quite a bit, but I didn't realize until a week ago that it was your old number.
Yeah.
And I reached out to your manager. I was like, dang, does Kai hate me? And he's like, no. And then I asked for your number. I was like, oh, I've been texting the wrong number this whole time.
Yeah, Jimmy, I love you, and we've been cool for a long time. I think, but if I'm being real, like, from me to you, what happened last month, I don't think you see it from my perspective, but from what happened last month, if you looked at everything that was going on, it was a little too much. I kind of I had to it was my old number, correct, but I also had to lock in for this month, but also I felt away from that, if I'm just being honest.
Yeah, no, I could tell it wasn't the people were running with you not donating and stuff. That's why I tried calling. And
yeah.
I replied to a tweet telling people to chill out.
Yeah, I seen that, and I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah. So I
don't think Mr. Beast meant any harm, and I do think this was a bit of a miscommunication between them, and Mr. Beast got stuck in the middle of something that he didn't know that was going on with Kai Cenat and just in the streaming world in general. And now I do think they will be able to repair that relationship. But I think Kai Cenat's looking at it like, yeah, I appreciate you saying that Kai doesn't have to donate, or he appreciates you saying that, but all the damage had already been done. And with the whole change in the number thing, this does seem like something that Kai Cenat does, where I think he just falls back from the person and expects them to understand what was going on. So I'm glad that they had this conversation, because I think this is something that's you can repair. You can put this back together. they can have a relationship again, because I don't think there was any malice from Mr. Beast's end, and he just didn't know. Whereas in the past, for example, Kai Cenat did something similar, and I don't think Kai Cenat is very confrontational from what I'm gathering, because when it happened with Adin Ross, he said the reason that he cut Adin Ross off and wasn't speaking to him anymore, answering his calls, was when that incident happened with Tav, Adin's former manager, when Kai Cenat had that Big Mac meal with the chicken Big Mac meal with McDonald's, and then Kai Cenat's manager calls him and he's like, yo, chicken Big Mac, really? Chicken Big Mac? And he's like, yo, why is this guy calling me and talking to me like this? And then these pages that are affiliated with Kick or named after Kick are just throwing like dirt on Kai Cenat's name and creating these narratives. He's like, yo, what the, like, and then he just falls back from Adin, and Adin doesn't even know what that dude Tav said. So Adin's in the dark, and I think he just assumed that Adin knew what was going on or was a part of what's going on. So that led to them not speaking for a very, very long time until pre-Team Water incident, of course. And then they speak, and Adin fires his manager for not just that, but for some other things that he felt he wasn't living up to. Like, he kind of did him dirty. He didn't announce why or what exactly happened or the details. So I think that was another example of Kai just falling back on certain people. And the situation with Bruce too, he addressed that publicly, but that was just out there in public. So him just falling back from Bruce is completely understandable. But I don't think Kai is going to be like, yo, why did you do this? How come? Like, let's work out this situation. I think from what we've seen so far, he's just the type to be like, yo, you know what? I'm just not going to mess with that person anymore. And I do understand that, because sometimes I've done that. And it's not always the right approach, because sometimes it is just a genuine misunderstanding and it could have been repaired, but you know, you decided not to address it. But I do like the fact that Kai Cenat is willing to address it. He's like, listen, man, I didn't like what you did there. Like, that was uncomfortable. I had a bunch of other stuff going on. And he wasn't saying like, yeah, dude, you know, like my number just changed. He's not capping to him. He's not capping to his face. He's saying, look, yeah, my number did change, and I had to prepare for this, because keep in mind, this was the month of September. The month of August is when Team Water was going on. Kai Cenat, that whole month of August, they were for sure preparing for the subathon that he was going to do, for the Mafiathon. I mean, just take a look at the announcement that they did. It was months in preparation. Now, could he have just donated, thrown some money in? Of course, but it's the premise and the background and why he donated. And I really respect him for taking all that, not just criticism, for taking all that hate, because he wasn't going to allow himself to be bullied into donating into something. I think he would have donated on regular terms, because listen, every other creator under the sun donated to the Team Water situation. But I hope him and Jimmy and Mr. Beast are able to repair it. Him and Adin Ross, it does seem a little bit more rocky, although he is cool with that dude Cuffham now, which I'm glad that they're cool, because Cuffham is hilarious. Adin Ross is just lazy right now. And Adin Ross also addressed this himself in a recent clip that I'm playing you guys right now.
Guys, you don't have to. I'm telling you, I feel weird, like especially after the Team Water thing, because I feel bad about that. Meaning, I don't know. I saw like a clip with Kai. I felt bad. I don't know. Maybe feel bad. You have to hard act.
So Adin saying like he feels bad about that situation, but I just feel like he knew what he was doing, or he knew what could potentially come out of what he said when he like called on Kai Cenat to donate. So I can't just take the whole like him. I do believe that he feels bad, but for him to pretend that he wouldn't know how that would turn out, I don't think that's the truth, because he kept it to himself why he fired Tav. And the reason why he did that is because if he put the reason he fired Tav out there, Tav might end up getting a lot of, maybe he feels unwarranted hate or people targeting him based on that situation. So he can afford the same grace to Kai Cenat and not just call him out when your guys' relationship wasn't tight like it was 2 years ago. You were just repairing it 2 weeks before you called them out to donate. But that's just what I think. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.